What is going on, y'all? My name is Peter William, and today I wanted to share with you my crazy hair alongside this crazy creative community experiment. I call it Cycle Up. Check it out. So what is Cycle Up? I'm going to sum it up for you in 3 words: experience, time, and reflection. So let's start off with the word experience. The idea for Cycle Up came to me when I realized that I don't actually learn anything unless I go out and actually do it for myself. I spent over 6 years of my life in a highly controlled educational environment, aka college. I left that experience feeling very lost. Now, I'm not here to bash the educational system, but college, in my experience, only fed me purely secondhand experiences that ended up not being useful to me at all. Once I left school and just started experimenting with life and experiencing life firsthand, I realized that 1, it was free and didn't cost me $50,000 a year. 2, it only required me to show up, try new things, and face my fears. And 3, I learned an incredible amount of useful, practical things that I still use to this day. Cycle Up is about choosing to do something, actually going out or going within and taking action with the sole purpose of committing to something that you want to experience in your life firsthand. Okay, so the second word is time. I used to experience some crazy creative blocks, and what I realized the reason for these blocks was that I would get super excited about a project and I would say, I'm going to do this every day for the next year. And I would create this crazy time commitment that was totally unrealistic and not useful at all. And all that happened from it was I would get super overwhelmed, I would get stressed out, and I wouldn't enjoy doing it at all. That would of course lead to me not actually doing the project, missing out on the experience altogether, and not pulling any useful value from it at all. After that experience, I realized that the problem was not that I was lazy or even unfocused. It was the fact that my goal was so large and so far-reaching that I created a mental barrier for myself to even achieve it. In my mind, I was going to be a failure if I didn't commit to this project for an entire year. It was like I was lost in this dense creative forest and I had no idea where I was anymore. And that was not fun at all. So that's the point where I realized that I don't have to commit to anything for a year. In fact, it's completely useless to do so. There are so many things to explore and experience in life, and many of them do not require such a vast time commitment. But I did realize that there was incredible value in committing to something for a very specific amount of time. So when I started breaking down my experiences into small bite-sized portions, I found that I could extract a ton of value and useful practical knowledge from these experiences. In Cycle Up, we call these fun-sized commitments cycles. Now, when I started committing to these smaller cycles, I found that my life was so much easier. Instead of committing to a 365-day cycle, I would break that down into a 30-day cycle, or even a 7 or 3-day cycle. At that rate, I could experience a cycle, see what it's like, see if it's something that I want to continue doing, and then try a new cycle that's maybe a bit longer or requires a bit more commitment.
Grandma, I love your pie, but I would like to try 1 slice before I commit to the whole thing.
Word number 2 is reflection. The beauty of life is that we can choose to experience so many different things. There is such a variety to choose from, yet at the same time, it is so incredibly easy to have an experience and then forget about so much that we had discovered from it. In my own experiences, what I've noticed is that when I'm actually having the experience, that's actually not the time where I actually find those golden nuggets of discovery. It's actually after the fact where I am actually reflecting upon the experience where I find those gems of knowledge and wisdom and practical, useful shit that I take with me and move forward with. Many times, the real, true discovery is what happens after the experience. So Cycle Up is really about documenting those experiences and sharing them as you're going through them. Then as you complete the cycle, you can create a conglomerate or a gestalt perspective of what you truly learned from that experience. On top of that, we live in a profoundly amazing time right now where we can literally broadcast ourselves right from our computer or in front of our phones. And what that means is that we can have amazing experiences or even simple experiences where we extract a ton of insight and then share those experiences with others so that other people can also be inspired to have their own first-hand experiences.
Holy shit, we can experience life together!
So I love the idea of being able to have a personal experience and really just dive into it and be there and experience it firsthand. And I also love the idea of being around people and actually having a community where we can share our experiences
and create a dialogue off of those experiences and collaborate off of those experiences and support each other when we're feeling unconfident or confused or lost or uncomfortable or afraid. Whatever the fuck we feel, we can feel it.
And be supported in moving through those experiences, because what is it in the end? What's the point of it in the end? It's about experience, and it's about coming together and supporting each other and choosing to actually do shit. Cool, so that's it. Let me just review the 3 words we just went over. 3 words were experience, time, and reflection. So here's how it works in a nutshell. 1, choose an experience. What do you want to experience? What thing do you want to do? It can be super simple, and it should be super simple. Keep it simple. Number 2, time. Commit to a specific period of time. Commit to a specific time frame or a specific cycle. So that could be 3 days or 7 days or 30 days. I suggest keeping it under 30 days to avoid the problems that I explained earlier. But find a cycle that would work for you in your schedule. Something that you know you can definitely accomplish. And if you need to, take it as small as possible. It could even be a day. Start with a day. Commit to one thing for one day and see what happens. Number 3 is reflection. Everyone has a different way that they reflect upon their experiences, whether that be through writing, through video, maybe it's streaming and having a dialogue with an audience, maybe it's taking photographs, maybe it's some form of art that you need to do. Do that and then share that. Share that with us. Share that with the group as you go. And once you complete a cycle, if you're feeling inspired, you can share a gestalt perspective of that or an overview of everything that you learned and experienced within that particular cycle. So in conclusion, the reason why I brought this group together, created this social experiment, is because I honestly really wanted to have some new experiences come 2018. And I wanted a reason to commit to them, and I wanted a community where I could feel comfortable sharing what is going on in my life with people who I know are also putting themselves out there and having experiences of their own. I think that social media is progressively getting overcrowded with ideas and secondhand knowledge that is not useful or practical. We can change that and shift that environment by focusing on what really matters, which is life, experience, and having a shit ton of fun. So that's Cycle Up. I look forward to seeing your future posts. Let me know if you have any questions at all. I love you so much, and I will see you very soon.